Scarecrow Chronicles. In the heart of a small, sleepy town, surrounded by endless fields of corn and wheat, stood an old farmhouse. It was a place of simple pleasures and quiet routines, where the daily rhythms of life followed the cycles of the land. Amid this serene setting was a bountiful garden, and in that garden, an imposing scarecrow had been erected. A static figure of straw and old clothes stood as a sentinel against crows and other nuisances. Burlap sack head, crudely stitched eyes, and a wide unsettling grin created a sinister figure. To the family, it was nothing more than a rustic guardian. Little did they know it was much more than it seemed. Beyond imagination, the scarecrow provided the perfect hiding place for a non-Earth being to hide, watch, and observe. It watched, with unblinking eyes of stitched cloth, as the family went about their daily lives. By day, the scarecrow remained inert, a lifeless guardian of the crops. When the sun dropped below the horizon, it stirred to life. Limbs twisted with a silent, eerie precision, as it lowered itself from the crossbeam. The beginning ritual of nocturnal wandering through the property. The creature walked silently through the darkened corridors, between the home and barns, chronicling observations in the cold glow of the moon. The children, sensitive to the uncanny, were the first to sense something amiss. They caught fleeting glimpses of a shadowy figure moving past their bedroom windows the past 2 nights. Would it return and watch again? Their parents, busy with the demands of a hard life, dismissed these tales as the product of too many ghost stories. The creature did return, and the children's unsettling report of another sighting turned the parents' levity into concern. Deciding to investigate, they stepped out into the crisp night air. Walking towards the garden, shadows twisting in the moonlight, they found the scarecrow's usual spot conspicuously empty. A chilling omen that quickened their pulses. While the parents searched the grounds, the children lay in their beds, wide awake and terrified. Suddenly, the bedroom door creaked open. A scarecrow silhouette stood in the doorway. Jagged and wicked. Its hollow eyes now glowed an unnatural sunburst, casting an eerie light across the room. The children froze in terror as it moved closer, its straw limbs rustling with each step. Its presence was suffocating, an unnatural weight that pressed down on their souls. The children's screams shattered the stillness of the night, piercing the air like a siren. Outside, the parents turned towards the house, just in time to see a blinding flash of light shoot from the children's bedroom window. Panic surged through them, and they raced back into the house, hearts pounding with fear. They burst into the room to find an empty, chilling silence. The children were gone, vanished into thin air. The scarecrow lay on the floor, its straw innards scattered and limbs twisted into grotesque angles as if something had violently torn it apart. The air was thick with a lingering sense of a disturbing presence, an echo of the alien force that had animated the scarecrow. The parents stood in shock, their minds reeling with the horror of what had transpired. The scarecrow, now a lifeless husk, offered no answers, only the grim reminder of its unnatural existence. The children's beds, with indented pillows and twisted sheets, seemed to mock their frantic search for a logical explanation. Days turned into weeks, and the farmhouse became a place of whispered fears and unanswered questions. No signs of the children had been found. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones of the children's disappearance and the scarecrow that had walked at night. The garden remained empty, a silent testament to the inexplicable horror that had visited their quiet town. The family, haunted by their loss and the mysterious events, could only wonder at the force that had intruded upon their lives. The non-Earth creature of nightmares arrived as an observer. It departed as a collector,